Hey, how you all doing? All right, this month's craft is going to be these rag, um, oh my goodness, just forgot, they're rag flags. So we're gonna learn how to do these for the 4th of July. I mean, our verse this month was set me free. If he sets you free, you're free indeed. And we're getting ready to celebrate the 4th of July. So I figured, you know what? We've got freedoms that come from our country. And I thought this would be a really amazing craft to do with this. So, are you ready? Okay. All right, so to get started with this craft, I want you to go ahead and plug in. You're going to need a hot glue gun for this craft. And while we are doing like all the crafty stuff, we're going to go ahead and get our hot glue gun heated up. I did not remember where I put my little finger protectors, but I had gotten some a long time ago over at Dollar Tree. I don't know if they still have them or not, but they are very handy for when you're doing hot glue. Right, so the first thing I wanted to do was get my hot glue started or heating up. It has a stick in it. You probably only need one glue stick. You're going to need these wooden dowels. I got them from Walmart. They come in, I got the 8-piece with different sizes. You can purchase a bag with just all one size, but I wanted the various sizes because I saw some really cute ideas that I want to try out. You're going to need apple barrels, melted chocolate, and you're going to need a sponge brush. I forgot the technical name. I'm just having one of those days. And a little thing with some water, because what we're going to do is we're going to be watering this down, and I'm going to set that to the side because that's a little bit later on. We are going to need a pencil sharpener. I'll explain that one later. Of course, we're going to need scissors, and we need fabric. The fabric, I got these at Hobby Lobby. I got 1/4 of a yard, and I have way more fabric than I am possibly going to need for this one particular craft. But that's okay because I might use it for something else. I don't know. I did some pre-cutting before I came on camera. I do remember when my mom was alive, I think you can purchase 1/8 of a yard. I think that's the smallest amount of fabric. I'm not real sure, but I know this is 1/4 of a yard, and it's way more than I needed. And I don't know how that is. Okay, so it's more than I needed because I have all this. All this is going to be extra. All that's going to be extra. So, all right, so let me just kind of fold this on up. I don't want it to be in our way here. What I did for the rag strips is I took my finger and I just did a little short clip. We want 3 strips of the red and white per flag. So you're going to need 3, 6, 9 strips in total. And I just clipped it on out like that. For the blue and white, or the blue with white stars, I clipped it. I need 2 strips per flag. So you're going to need 2, 4, 6 strips per flag. Once you have done that, you can put your scissors to the side, and now you're going to give it that rag look by ripping the fabric. And it's just as easy as you just rip that, set your fabric to the side, because I've already done my other 2 flags. You will want to rip everything that you need for all 3 of your flags. If you choose to do 3 flags, you could actually, there is so much fabric left over. This would be a really great craft to do with your grandchildren or your children. Most of the ladies here are grandmas, so I'm going to assume that you ladies are going to do these with your grandchildren. Now, to just give our strips a little bit of a ragged look, we want to go ahead and pull some strings off, which are already naturally going to like be there because we were doing the ripping of the fabric. That gives it that ragtag look. And if it's getting to be like, ooh, you know what, I don't know if I want to do too much more, you can always trim that. You can just kind of clip it with the scissors and you get it ragged out however you want yours, how tattered you want yours to look. All right, so I'm just pulling off some strings and then I'm going to set it to the side. I just want to do all my strips all at one time. Okay, so see this one right here has this string that is running through. There is a strand that's running through there. That isn't making it very nice for my ragging. So I'm just going to clip off right through there and set that to the side. And let's see, we're just going to go ahead and get this all straightened out. All right. Okay, ladies, if you guys are loving this membership, and I know that you probably don't have time yet to do a lot of it, that's fine. Could you give me a review or something? 'Cause I'd like to be able to get more ladies into our membership, and to do that I want to be able to do like some reviews from you guys, okay, if that's possible. All right, so I got my strips ragged out, tattered out, and what we're going to do is we're just going to fold this in half. And even though I want this to fly that way, I need to do the opposite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see this loop right here. I'm going to use your body as a like an anchor for that pole. But I'm just going to take that loop, I'm going to put the dowel in front of it, and take your index finger and your thumb and just pull that through, and that's going to give you a knot. You're going to repeat that, and I'm not going to pull that all the way up because I have found that it doesn't want to do that. It wants to slide right off and then undo, and then you got this strip again. So I have been just doing the knots up on this pole, on the dowel, and then not putting it quite together yet until we've got everything, all the fabric that we want on that particular dowel. And I thought at first this was going to be like really difficult, but it hasn't turned out to be too difficult. You do need a little bit of strength to tighten that. But what we're going to do with the hot glue is we're just going to put a little dab at the top and let our first ring go up there. So that way the glue is going to hold it in place where it doesn't slip off. So in case you take this to the parades and you do a little flag waving with them, flag wagging is what I was going to say. But I'm like, we're not going to wag them. We'll wave them. So they won't slide off during your during the parades. Okay, I had an extra strand. If you've ever made a rag quilt, you know that it's just going to keep fraying and fraying and fraying, and that's perfectly fine. The more tattered it looks, the more patriotic and old it feels, right? All right, so I have that I'm just tightening them up pretty as tight as I can get them on there, but we want them to go in the same direction. So what we're going to do is my glue is pretty much ready. So I just want to put like a little dab of glue right there, and we're going to pull this up, and hopefully that will be all that we need. And then we're going to pull those up, and I'm just going to, you make it as wide as you want. Let's see, that one, mine, I want them just to be about the same, okay. And I'm going to do the same thing right here. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, and I don't want to touch it and make it too, if it's too hot, that'd be good. And that's just going to help keep it in place. We'll keep all that right there. All right, so we're going to repeat that with each flag. I didn't do that with these flags. I wanted to do it all on camera with you ladies. And I'm just going to tatter that in. It's not too hot. I must have a cool temp glue gun, because I had, it says high temp. Maybe it's just a little old, I don't know. They were my mom's, so you could do it under the knot if you wanted to, just so that it's very inconspicuous. We don't want everyone and their brother to see where our glue is, I guess, right? But we do want everything to stay on. We just want to make sure that stays put. And I'm tugging it, it's good to go. So we're great. Now that we have that, we can unplug our glue. We've got all three. I mean, see, you didn't even really need but a few drops. You could probably use craft glue or anything like that. I just wanted something that was gonna do fast for this craft. And if you're doing it with children, please, you'd be the one that does the hot gluing. All right, so now what's going to take place? So because, see how I'm going to put a little point on these. This is going to help them, like if you're going to stick them in a flower pot or in the yard, in your flower beds. That could be cute. But I didn't want to do the point first, because when we're tying it off and we have that going up into our body, we don't want to poke ourselves. So now that we have our fabric tied on, we're just going to give this not a real sharp point, and we're just going to kind of give it just enough so it has a little bit of a pokiness to it, so that we can put it into something when we need it to go into the ground. All right, we are moving along. We've got our 3 flags. Obviously I had 2 done before. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do like a brown wash, because the dowel is really it's kind of palish white. It's kind of like too much for me. And you don't have to do this stuff if you don't want to. I just thought, let's just age it just a little bit. And I'm just going to put a little drop, it's a pretty good sized drop of brown, and I'm going to do like a half and half, and I have the worst lid for my water. I'm going to do like a half and half, and if you have like a stir, because I don't think you're going to want to use up your sponge yet, and I just want to mix that up. And apparently I need a napkin too, right? Didn't even think about that. All right, and I just emptied my trash can, so I don't have nothing in there. Yay. All right, so I just wiped that clean. Now, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna, you could have done this before, I guess, and then let it dry, so that way we don't get it onto the fabric. And then we're just gonna we're gonna sponge that on, and give it this aged kind of look. Yeah, I like that way better than that, don't you? So again, I'm just gonna do that with all 3. And I probably have too much watered down paint, but that's okay. I'm just making like a little stain with this. So that way, oops, one, it should dry a little faster being a stain, a whitewashed stain. All right, so I'm gonna pull that out a little bit more. Yeah, I really like the stained look a lot better than the unfinished dowel. And I don't think I'm even gonna add any extra paint on this sponge. It is coming along quite well. All right. Yeah, see how it didn't go on the glue dot? So yeah, lesson learned on that one. All right, ladies, there's our flags. Are they not the cutest? Now we're just gonna clean that up and be on our way with flags. With that, they'll dry. It won't take very long for them to dry. And we have our rag flags, our fabric, I don't know how is it, our fabric rag flags. Yeah, there we go, patriotic rag flags. All right, ladies, I hope you enjoyed this and that you have the most wonderful 4th of July. Of course, I'm going to talk to you before then in the group, but this is what we're making for the 4th of July, so I figured why not? It's really, because we are celebrating our freedoms through the 4th of July. We don't want to forget why we celebrate it, and because God said, if Christ has set you free, you are free indeed. And America's freedom, we're just gonna celebrate that with our flags. Post me some pictures. I want to see what y'all have made. All right, talk to y'all later. Bye.